So welcome to the fourth and final video on multiplayer in Unity. So a couple of things we need to complete. Firstly, it's death and respawning, so making the player come back, and also getting rid of the audio listener error down the bottom, which is irritating. So we'll do that first. We need to go to the player prefab and make sure that everything's open. Go to camera, and if we just untick the audio listener, it will stop coming up. We don't have any sounds really in the game at the moment, so we don't have to worry about this. There are ways of making the audio listener for multiplayer and things like that. Not really important right now. So what we do need to do though is sort out our health script to make us die and respawn. So if I double click on health to open it in mono develop, one thing you'll notice here, I've already got the text in, but I've just commented it out. Okay, so these are going to be some bits you're going to add in to your code. So first one, if we look down, we've got current health equals 0 is what it used to say. Instead of equaling 0, we're going to change it to max health. So this section, if your health is less than or equal to 0, before it just stayed at 0. Now we want it to go back to full health because that's more fun. So we can play again. The next bit, you don't have to do this comment here. This is just a reference comment for what it does. We're going to do something called RPC respawn. Okay, it's red because it's still commented out down here, but this means it will just respawn. Obviously, we've put local player authority when we did it earlier on, so it has to be a very specific way of doing it. So this last section down here does all the respawn stuff. Let's uncomment it now. Now you'll see this is the function to respawn. If it's the local player, which we want it, because we want the local player to have it happen. Oh, don't forget the client RPC, which is the server command. We're going to make it move back to 0, 0, 0 when they die. So it's as simple as that. So if we were to save and play it now, if your character goes back to 0, they go back to this point. Now, the last thing that we've got to deal with is spawn points. Now, at the moment, it only goes back to 1, 2, or 3. So what we're going to do is actually create some more spawn points in the game. And we need to do this by creating some empties. If we call it spawn position 1, and then we need to create and tell it needs to be a network start position. So if I type in network start position. So if we look at our network manager, it doesn't actually say it's got to be 0, 0, 0. It just says, spawn. So it's got a default one if you don't do it, but we are going to have our own ones. So if we put this at 3, 0, 0, and that's the first one. Might as well duplicate it because it needs the same information in. Call it spawn position 2. And this one is going to be -3. Obviously these can be any numbers you want, not too far away because you'll be a long way away, but that's a good start. And if we go to the network manager and set it as round robin, so it's actually going to go through all those, take turns through all 3 of them. And that is the basics of how to get them to start at different places in the scene. Random, it's possible they could end up in the same one twice in a row because you've only got 2 for a start. Even if you had 20, it's possible to get 2 twice in a row. So that is how to set it up to be at random spawn positions. I'm just going to pause 1 second. Sorry about that. And then, last bit. We actually want to be able to use these spawn points when we die as well. I'm actually going to copy over our text rather than typing it all in. And let's have a little look at the differences between this code and the one we had before. So if we didn't bother doing this bit here, it would still give us a different start point. But when we died, it would go back to different positions. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this code. If you want to know more, feel free to ask me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this health one onto the Unity Assets into a specific folder, and then when it's completed, you can just delete your health one, drag this in instead, make sure the references are there, and it'll make you respawn different positions. And that's pretty much it. Well done, good luck. and have good fun playing your game on Unity.